"I didn't believe they existed until I saw this," said one of the group of scientists who examined the finds of archaeologists. What surprised the experienced researcher so much? Are we on the verge of a discovery that could change our entire understanding of the past? Watch this video until the end to find out about the most mysterious finds. Hi friend, you are on the KirTop channel. 70,000-year-old bracelet. Scientists believe that this bracelet, 70,000 years old, was created by the Denisovans, an ancient species of hominids, close but different from Homo sapiens and Neanderthals. If this is confirmed, the date of creation of the bracelet will have to be pushed back 30,000 years. The bracelet was discovered in Siberia, and perhaps it will change our understanding of the development of ancient man. It is already forcing scientists to reconsider known levels of technology. For example, a bracelet has a hole made by drilling and sawing. Ancient Maya artifacts. Archaeologists from Mexico recently went to the mysterious Chimul Cave. This is a dark, mysterious place where the secrets of the ancient Mayan civilization were hidden for centuries. According to legend, this cave was the entrance to the underworld where, according to the Maya, deities lived. So they often used the caves for their sacred ceremonies. Among the finds are 2 ancient vessels that were carefully placed in the niches of the cave. They were probably used to collect water flowing from stalactites. Such water was considered sacred. Another object, a bowl on a tripod, was found upside down and placed under stones. This indicates that it could be part of a ritual, a sacrificial offering to the gods. Sahara's Eye. This geological structure was seen by astronauts in 1965, and from there its name came. From the air, it looks like a huge eye surrounded by green circles. This is a dolerite intrusion surrounded by stunted vegetation, a rare occurrence in the desert. The astronauts even used it as a reference point because it is the most visible structure in the Sahara. In the center of the object are siliceous breccias, special varieties of sedimentary rocks. This indicates its antiquity, which scientists estimate at millions of years. The oldest ring is about 600 million years old. At first, they thought that this was the place where a meteorite fell, but this theory was not confirmed. Then, scientists suggested that Galber Rishat has a geological origin. New research shows that this structure was formed under the influence of hydrothermal waters. One of the most unique features of the Eye of the Sahara is its ability to change color throughout the day depending on heat emission. And although there is still a lot of controversy and speculation about the origin of this geological miracle, most modern scientists believe that this is the result of erosion after the uplift of a section of the Earth's crust. Roswell Discamwalk. The Roswell disk is a mystical artifact rumored to have been found near Roswell, New Mexico after the famous 1947 UFO incident. According to some reports, the disk was part of the wreckage of an unidentified flying object. The disk was a round metal plate with a diameter of about 3 meters, with unusual symbols and markings on the surface that could not be attributed to any known terrestrial language. The material from which the disk was made turned out to be unidentified and had strange properties. Some sources claim that the disk was given into military hands and studied in secret laboratories. Those who have been able to see it have spoken of its potential connection to extraterrestrial technology and the ability to store information superior to all earthly counterparts. Over time, the Roswell disk has become a symbol of conspiracy theories and mysteries related to UFOs. Its existence is still disputed and is the subject of debate among scientists and researchers of the paranormal. The disk has become a legend in UFO circles, and many believe it is kept in secret government archives, along with other artifacts that point to extraterrestrial interference in the affairs of mankind. Cave paintings of Valcamonica. In the Valcamonica Valley, located in northern Italy, there are over 200,000 cave paintings created by various cultures over the past 8,000 years. These engravings provide unique evidence of ancient civilizations, depicting their rituals, social structure, and daily life. However, among the many traditional images of animals, dancing people, and symbols, there are several engravings that are of particular interest to researchers. Some of them look like figures dressed in strange costumes, reminiscent of spacesuits with details similar to helmets, antennas, and other devices. These drawings have given rise to much speculation. Some argue that they may have been created after contact between the ancient inhabitants of Valcamonica and alien civilizations. Such theories often rely on the appearance of these figures, arguing that ancient people may have depicted extraterrestrial beings or even astronauts they encountered. However, most scholars are inclined to believe that these engravings may represent ritual or symbolic images, perhaps associated with religious beliefs or rituals of the time. Here, scientists always have one opinion. If a find cannot be explained, it means it is connected either with something extraterrestrial or with an ancient ritual. The clearest photograph of a UFO. On September 4, 1971, in the northern highlands of Costa Rica, photographer Sergio Loaiza was conducting aerial photography of Lake Kante for the National Geographic Institute. Using a special mapping camera that takes photos at 13-second intervals, he did his job, unaware that one of the frames would be unique. Upon returning to the laboratory, Sergio checked the photographs and noticed in one of them a mysterious round metal object located on the right side of the photograph. It is noteworthy that an object resembling a flying saucer was not detected in either the previous or subsequent frames. For some time, the National Geographic Institute tried to hide the discovery, prohibiting Sergio and his colleagues from talking about the incident. A metallic flying object with a diameter of more than 18 meters was a closely guarded secret. But in 1979, a photograph appeared in an Argentine newspaper and was analyzed by experts. Soon, Costa Rica declared the photo as official confirmation of the existence of a UFO. Despite many years of study and debate among researchers in this area, no one has been able to say what kind of object this is. Skeptics suggested that the object on the right side of the photo was some kind of debris or stain that got onto the film while working with photographs. In 2021, a family friend was able to obtain the original photo in order to scan it using modern technology. This made it possible to digitize the image, making it clearer and more detailed. This allowed skeptics to see the saucer-shaped object at a higher resolution. The updated image allowed us to discard a number of banal assumptions and theories, since this was not a stain or chip on the camera glass. So what was it? Share your guesses in the comments. Alien skulls. It all started when the locals were digging canals for irrigation and accidentally stumbled upon these amazing finds. At the site, which was named El Cementerio, the remains of 25 people were found. 17 of them were children from 5 months to 16 years old, and the remaining 30 skulls are so deformed that they simply amaze the imagination. As archaeologist Cristina Garcia Morena explains, this form of skulls is a consequence of an ancient tradition when children's heads were tied together with wooden planks. This was done in order to highlight their social group or status, but the exact reason for this unusual custom is still a mystery. Colgante disc. An object called the Colgante disc at the Rafael Larco Herrero Archaeological Museum in Lima, Peru's capital, may be evidence that people in ancient times knew what the arms of the galaxy looked like. This artifact, believed to have been created some 2,000 years ago, looks like a spiral galaxy. But here's the catch. The number of arms on this disk does not match the number of arms in our galaxy. Assuming that the disk does indeed represent a galaxy, this calls into question many things we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. However, the Colgante disc remains a mysterious artifact that raises more questions than it answers. Tiny mummy in the Atacama. 20 years ago, in an abandoned mountain town in the Atacama Desert in Chile, the mummified remains of a humanoid just 15 centimeters in size were found. When this skeleton fell into the hands of a private collector in Spain, it sparked controversy about its origins and even appeared in a documentary as possible evidence of alien life. Scientists from California have been able to extract DNA from the bones of a mummy and reconstruct the real and tragic history of this creature, which received the name Ata. It turned out that this is not a guest from another world, but a girl who apparently was born dead or died immediately after birth, with terrifying mutations that determined her unusual physique. Despite the fact that she was only 15 centimeters long, some features of the bones indicated an age of 6 to 8 years. Instead of the usual 12 pairs of ribs, Ata had only 10. The head was elongated and cone-shaped. Professor Harry Nolan, who conducted the study, believes that Ata was stillborn or died immediately after birth. Her deformities were so severe that she could not eat. In her condition, she would have been admitted to a neonatal intensive care unit, but such devices simply were not available available at the site where her remains were found. It all started as a story about aliens, but in fact it is a story about a human tragedy. A woman gave birth to a deformed child which was preserved and sold as a strange artifact. In the end, this turned out to be a person with an amazing genetic history from which we can learn a lot that will help others. Droplets of the ancient ocean. Imagine that 600 million years ago our Earth was covered with ice, like a huge snowball. This is called the snowball Earth hypothesis. But how can we know if it actually happened? The answer is found in the highest mountains in the world, the Himalayas. Scientists from India and Japan have discovered drops of ancient water in the mountains. These drops may be part of the ocean floor that existed when the Earth was covered in ice. Analysis of these droplets shows that for a long time there was no calcium intake to the oceans. This could explain why there is more oxygen in the atmosphere, and perhaps even help us understand how the evolution of complex life forms began. At this time, no river water entered the oceans and there was no calcium. This could lead to the growth of special bacteria which began to release more oxygen into the atmosphere. This discovery is not just an amazing glimpse into the past. This could help us understand the Earth's climate in the future. This is how science works. By studying ancient secrets, we will learn more about what lies ahead of us. Mysterious mask. A strange iridium artifact found in Florida challenges traditional ideas about ancient civilizations. According to researchers, this object is 12,000 years old and is made of iridium, a metal that is extremely rare on Earth and most often found in meteorites. The artifact is striking in its delicacy and skillful processing, which suggests that the ancient craftsmen had technologies that were significantly ahead of their time. An image is engraved on the surface of the object, reminiscent of the deity Viracocha, known in the Inca culture as the creator of all things. According to legend, Viracocha came from Lake Titicaca, bringing light and knowledge. This image may be evidence of a connection between ancient peoples and an extraterrestrial civilization, which would explain the use of rare meteorite material to create this artifact. Historians believe that this object was stolen by Spanish conquistadors in 1715 and taken away on the ship La Concepcion. The ship sank in a storm, leaving much of its cargo, including other artifacts, on the ocean floor. The mask washed up on the beach and is believed by experts to be just a small part of the $5 billion lost treasure. Burning UFO over Canada. 2018 Quebec. While on a walk and enjoying their vacation, the family noticed a strange object in the sky and decided to film it. An inexplicably shaped object was slowly rotating, glowing with green and bright red lights. Casual spectators were amazed, realizing that they had witnessed something truly strange and unusual. At first glance, it might seem that this is a spaceship burning fuel while gaining altitude. Canada is one of the few countries that officially records UFO data. As they collect data, they publish surprising findings and images, causing skeptics to doubt that humanity is the only superior race in the universe. The object caught in the video has no visible means of movement and exhibits anti-gravity properties, hovering in the air for some time. The absence of wings and exhaust gases proves that this is not an aircraft. Some skeptics tried to justify this with natural phenomena as an optical illusion, but on this day the weather was beautiful and it was clearly noticeable that this object was three-dimensional. A close guess suggests that the object was a hot air balloon with a mirror surface, but is this true? Perhaps we are simply denying the obvious, afraid to admit that aliens exist and they are already among us? New species of prehistoric man in South Africa. Recently, a fantastic discovery was made: the fossils of an ancient human ancestor, Australopithecus sediba, who lived about 2 million years ago. Thanks to this find, the researchers were able to learn more about this amazing creature. It turns out that our distant ancestor walked the earth like a man, but at the same time he could skillfully climb trees like a monkey. Among the fossils found were the lower bones of the back. Their shape indicates that Australopithecus spent a lot of time on two legs, but also used his hands to climb trees. This important discovery helps us better understand how our ancestors lived and moved. The most amazing is that these bones were found in a cave in South Africa and belong to a female Australopithecus, which scientists have nicknamed Isa. In Swahili, it means protector. Moreover, Australopithecus had 5 lumbar vertebrae, just like you and me. This find is like a missing link in the chain of human evolution, confirming that Australopithecus was like a bridge between the great apes and us modern humans. Their unique movement combined 2 types of activity: upright walking and climbing trees. Discovery of the oldest nuclear reactor in the world. It's funny, but the first human reactor that produces electricity was created only in 1951. But a stone block in Oklo in Gabon already created nuclear energy 2 billion years ago. The history of the discovery began in 1972 when French scientists took a sample of uranium ore from a deposit in Gabon to test its uranium composition. And here scientists have come across a surprising discovery. The uranium sample contained less uranium-235 than usual. This meant that about 200 kilograms of uranium-235 disappeared somewhere in the mine. As it turned out, the missing uranium went through the process of nuclear fission and split into other atoms. It turns out that nature accidentally created a nuclear reactor operating under very specific conditions necessary for the continuous release of energy. And it really happened. First, there was enough uranium-235 in the ore to keep the reaction going. Second, uranium-235 naturally decays, releasing a neutron that initiates the fission process. And finally, there was enough underground water at the site of the reactor which slowed down the neutrons and regulated the reaction. Mysterious signs of an ancient culture. We will dive into the secrets of ancient symbols and signs which, like mysterious fragments of ancient codes, help us to better understand our roots. You must have seen the pentagram, a 5-pointed star, the symbol of magic and wisdom in the Hermetic tradition, and in Christianity, the 5 wounds of Christ. But a circle with a dot inside is not just a beautiful sketch, but a symbol of the sun, a sign of life and strength which is found among the Egyptians and Incas. And the alchemists saw in it gold. The swastika also has ancient roots. Yes, it was a symbol of good luck and prosperity used in India, China, and Russia. And of course, let's not forget about simple geometric shapes. A square, a triangle, a circle. In Egyptian legends, the square personified the elements of the world. The triangle in Greek mathematics was a symbol of the Trinity, and the Chinese saw infinity and unity in the circle. Sphinx from Mars. The Sphinx from Mars was discovered in 1976 during archaeological excavations in Egypt. This unique figurine, only 10 centimeters high, has amazed scientists with its strange resemblance to the famous Martian Sphinx, depicted in photographs taken by the Viking 1 space probe. The figurine was found in a tomb dated to the 3rd dynasty of the pharaohs, and it was part of an ancient collection of artifacts. It was engraved with symbols and signs that did not look like traditional Egyptian hieroglyphs and which have not yet been deciphered. Many scientists and UFO researchers began to speculate that the figurine could be evidence of contact between the ancient Egyptians and extraterrestrial civilizations. According to some theories, the Sphinx from Mars was a kind of key or device for communicating with cosmic beings. Ancient texts found near the artifact spoke of gods from heaven who supposedly visited Earth in ancient times. There is a version that it was these gods who gave the figurine to the pharaohs. The Sphinx from Mars continues to attract the attention of scientists and paranormal enthusiasts. Some consider it to be irrefutable proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life, while skeptics argue that this is just a coincidence and an interesting archaeological artifact. Elongated skulls. The mystery of the elongated skulls of paracas continues to stir heated debate among scientists and researchers. These elongated skulls, discovered by archaeologist Julio Tello in 1928 on the Paracas Peninsula in Peru, date back approximately 3,000 years. The skulls are unusually shaped, and although similar finds have been found all over the world, from Rome to the Caucasus, the Paracas skulls are particularly surprising. It is believed that the elongated shape of the skulls was the result of deliberate manipulation, such as tying special bands or boards around the heads of infants. This process, known as cranial deformation, was common among many ancient cultures. Even today, it is practiced by some African tribes. However, it remains a mystery what exactly motivated people everywhere to engage in this practice. One popular hypothesis is that people sought to imitate the gods or guests from heaven who, according to legend, had elongated heads. Another version says that such a shape of the skull could enhance the perception of cosmic energy, which allegedly contributed to spiritual or intellectual development. The peculiarity of the paracas skulls lies not only in their shape, but also in their volume and structure. Research shows that the volume of the skull is larger than that of ordinary people, and the structure of the bones is different. These anomalies give rise to theories about the extraterrestrial origin of the owners of such skulls. The skulls may belong to representatives of another race or hybrid creatures about which we know little yet.
Has the first battle with aliens already happened? On August 26, 1946, an American scientific expedition set out for the South Pole. It was led by naval officer and explorer Admiral Richard Byrd, who took part in the First World War. The expedition involved 13 ships, 33 aircraft, and almost 5,000 U.S. Navy soldiers. The group under the command of the admiral returned only 9 months later, reporting that it had to engage in battle with the remnants of the Third Reich and possibly aliens. Flying objects attacked the expedition members and caused significant damage to the American group. Byrd in his report claimed to have seen unidentified devices capable of moving at incredible speeds, changing their location almost instantly. At that time, the admiral's statements, despite his high status, seemed like fiction. However, in 2018, a satellite image revealed a contrail left by something moving at incredible speeds. The trail stretched across the entire Earth, connecting the South and North Poles, which is about 20,000 kilometers. The maximum duration of preservation of the trace and its shape is 30 minutes, while most of it begins to dissipate after 15 minutes. Based on the data obtained, we can say that the object that left the contrail was moving at a speed of at least 80,000 kilometers per hour, which is 10 times higher than the speed of the fastest aircraft existing at the moment.
Lolladoff plate. The Lolladoff plate is a stone dish that is about 12,000 years old. It depicts a disc resembling a UFO and a creature very similar to the modern idea of aliens. You can also consider a spiral galaxy. According to scholar David Gaiman, the disc was purchased from the city of Mussoorie in North India and belonged to the strange Zopas people, who used such discs during religious ceremonies. However, he later admitted that he made this whole story up, including the creation of a sketch of the plate, which his friend then translated into black and white. Amazing artifacts constantly remind us that we still don't know much about the place where we live. But we know for sure that earthly riddles will sooner or later be solved. And while the secrets are not revealed and the inhabitants of other worlds are not discovered, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Watch this video as well about the findings frightening scientists around the world. See you on KirTop. Thanks for your views. Bye everyone.